Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be giving you my preview of the 2017 NBA Eastern Conference Finals, which pits the Boston Celtics against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Boston does have some things going for them. Okay, they are the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, which of course means they have home field advantage against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that, of course, is advantageous to them. However, they did lose 3 out of 4 to Cleveland during the regular season. I really like Cleveland in this one due to the fact with LeBron James and his experience. Now, Boston also boasts one of the better home field records during the regular season, 30-11. But Cleveland, even though Boston did finish with more wins than Cleveland during the regular season, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I should say, the resurgent Cleveland Cavaliers have come on very strong at the right time. There were a lot of people at the beginning of the postseason that were a little bit cynical and skeptical regarding the Cavaliers, and I was a little bit because of the way they finished the regular season. I think they lost like their last 4 regular season games. They did not look very impressive, but they did find a way to turn it on during the postseason, and that's what counts. And Cleveland may not have the home field edge, but I think they certainly have an advantage in the series. And I think that the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that the Cleveland's rebounding, I believe, is going to be better than Boston's in this series. Cleveland did average more rebounds than the Boston Celtics during the regular season. They also averaged more points per game. They had a higher field goal percentage and a higher three-point field goal percentage, I think. And as I stated before, they did defeat Boston 3 out of 4. So that, to me, it's a little bit of a psychological edge. Boston, they're going into this series, I'm sure, with a lot of swagger and confidence, but LeBron James goes in there being still, I believe, in my opinion, unequivocally the best player in the NBA. He is certainly the X factor in this series without a doubt. And Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics, don't get me wrong, he's a phenom at 5'9". I think he averaged close to 29 points per game during the regular season, has had a very good postseason. He bounced back after the first 2 games against the Chicago Bulls in the first round, which they lost. It looked like Boston was going to fold and lose that first round series. Boston Celtics and Isaiah Thomas showed a lot of heart and resiliency, came back and won that series, defeated Washington in the second round, and now they have, Isaiah Thomas, a very strong person. As many of you may know, he had lost, I believe it was his sister, right before that first game against the Chicago Bulls, and he had lost a tooth and during the postseason as well, and he just keeps plugging away. And he's, that man is really somebody that shows what I call uncommon valor. He's very, being 5'9", doing what he's doing, very courageous. He doesn't let anything discourage him, and I'm sure he's not going to go into this series against the Cleveland Cavaliers being intimidated in any way, shape, or form. I expect the Boston Celtics to give Cleveland Cavaliers a very competitive series, but I just don't think they quite have enough to win. I think when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, you have the better rebounding team. It's going to be their stature what is going to overpower the Boston Celtics, I think, ultimately in this series. And I'd like to see, it'd be interesting to see how the Boston Celtics will defend Cleveland Cavaliers on their pick and rolls. I want to see how they're going to defend Kevin Love. Kevin Love has shown a lot of versatility as a big man. Rebounds, he shoots. He gets the 3-point shots. He's a sharpshooter, shoots from long range. And when you have Kyrie Irving on the Cleveland Cavaliers, along with LeBron James and Kevin Love, the three-headed monster, it's going to be very hard to topple them and conquer them in this series. I think really it's going to be that size which is going to be the big advantage which Cleveland clearly has over the Boston Celtics. Now Isaiah Thomas, he is going to, I expect him to have a very good series for the Celtics, but when you go in, Al Horford is good. He can play well, and he's the best rebounder on this team. But I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think they're going to get really hurt on the boards, on the rebounding, and that's also going to play a pivotal role in determining the outcome in the series. And I do like the Cleveland Cavaliers to win this in 6 games. So I like Cleveland winning the series 4-2 over the Boston Celtics. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube segment for my preview of the 2017 NBA Eastern Conference Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Boston Celtics. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.